चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिकान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तु ते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकां करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातं तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्। Hare Krishna and welcome, dear devotees, to this second session on the paths to Krishna. I'm going to share my screen. Do you all see the full screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you. So today we'll be covering two paths to Krishna. One is the path of deep detachment. This is a path where one is convinced that this life in the material world is impossible, actually. And then, because of that deep conviction, they take immense shelter of Krishna. So, that is the first path that we'll discuss. And we'll go deep into the discussion on detachment. And the second path is the path of the saintly association, sadhu sangha. So, before I proceed, I want to start with a simple question. What character of Srimad Bhagavatam reminds you of extreme detachment? You can just unmute and speak. What character of Srimad Bhagavatam?
Gajendra.
Gajendra, Manan Prabhu, thank you. Thank you.
Sukhdev Goswami.
Sukadev Goswami himself, extreme detachment. Yeah, yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. So Gajendra, Sukadev Goswami. Anyone else? Um, yeah, you can all take a guess. Any character that you can think of.
Rishabh Dev.
Rishabh Dev, yeah, Rishabh Dev. I'm looking for one particular character which has not been mentioned.
Bharat.
Who?
Jada Bharat.
Jad Bharat. Extreme detachment. Yeah, good example, but not what I'm thinking of. You'll all be
Parikshit Maharaj.
Parikshit Maharaj. No.
Dhruv Maharaj.
Who?
Dhruv Maharaj.
Dhruv Maharaj. Extreme detachment. No. I'll give you a hint. It's actually a
Ambarish,
Mataji.
Ambarish Prabhu.
Ambarish Prabhu, no Prabhu. It's a Mataji from the Bhagavatam.
Devahuti.
No Prabhu. In fact, Manan Prabhu, you should know this because it's very close.
Queen Kunti. Let me say that.
Yes. So it is, so our acharyas explain that this deep detachment in the heart was actually exemplified by Queen Kunti. And we'll discuss how, why, and so on. And the second half of today's discussion is going to be on Sadhu Sangha. So when we think of Sadhu Sangha, we think of association with a perfect Vaishnava. That's what we always think. Sadhu Sangha means let's go get the association of this pure devotee, this perfect Vaishnava. But the other definition of Sadhu Sangha is perfectly associating with a Vaishnava or Vaishnavi. So that part we usually forget. So if we perfectly associate, that means if we nicely associate and are eager to associate with any Vaishnava or Vaishnavi who's sincerely practicing Krishna consciousness, that is the same sadhu sangha, the same benefit that you will get by associating with a perfect Vaishnava. So we'll cover both these topics in detail. So as Manan Prabhu said, so the exemplar of detachment in Srimad Bhagavatam is Queen Kunti. Srila Prabhupada actually wrote about the prayers of Queen Kunti first time in 1962, and then he spoke about it in 1972. And the second part, when he spoke about it in 1972, that was made into a book called The Prayers of Queen Kunti, which is a very, very famous book, which most of you must have seen. So there are three things about detachment that we will discuss today. The first one is detachment supportive for bhakti? Is detachment necessary for bhakti? Is detachment dangerous for bhakti? Okay, so these are three aspects that we will cover today. Again, I'll repeat. Is detachment supportive for bhakti? Is detachment a result of bhakti? Sorry, supportive and necessary are the same. Actually, the second one should be, is detachment a result of bhakti? And is detachment dangerous for bhakti? So I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to open up a poll because I want to hear what you all think about this. So do you all see the question? You have to pick only one. So which one would you pick? Is detachment supportive for bhakti? Is detachment a result of bhakti? Or is detachment is dangerous for bhakti? So I won't know, it's anonymous poll, so I won't know who selected what, but I'll appreciate if all of you can pick something. It should all pop up on your screens. Detachment is supportive for bhakti, detachment is a result of bhakti, or detachment is dangerous for bhakti. I have 7 out of the 11 participants who have taken 8, 9, so 2 more, 10, one more person, 11. Okay, thank you. So 55% of you think that detachment is result of bhakti. And 36% of you think that detachment is supportive or necessary for bhakti. And only one of you think that detachment is dangerous for bhakti. So today what I'll do is, I'm going to show you verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm going to share the results. Sorry. Do you all see the results? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share verses from Srimad Bhagavatam which actually provide evidence for all three of them. So in some parts of the Bhagavatam, it is said that detachment is supportive of bhakti. In some parts of the Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that detachment is a result of bhakti. And in some parts of the Bhagavatam, it is actually mentioned that detachment is dangerous for bhakti. So unless and until we understand the right context, we will not be able to use Shastra to prove one way or the other. So that was the first point I wanted to make. Let me go back to the slides. Okay. I hope you can all see the slides. Okay. So now before we go on to why Kunti Maharani is the exemplar for detachment, I want to ask all of you a simple question because this is very essential to why she comes to this conclusion of extreme detachment. So in our lives, if I were to ask you who or what, sorry, let me go back. If I were to ask you who or what are our protectors in this material world? Yeah. So if I were to ask you, what would you say? I'm just going to note down some of the answers. Like just in this material world, who are our protectors? It could be some of our qualities also, or someone external, someone internal. Who protects us, or what protects us?
Sadhu Sangha.
I'm not talking about like spirituality in general, Prabhu. I'm talking more like in the material world. Let's say you go out and there are some 6 things that actually are protecting you. Let's say you go out or sorry,
Demigods.
demigods. Okay, even more simpler. Let's say I'm not even asking devotees. I'm just asking somebody on the street. Who are your protectors? What will they say?
Or like
Yeah.
police, like that. Okay.
Huh?
Family.
Family is one. Yeah, you can. So, yeah, family is an example. Yeah, sorry, family.
Daily discipline.
Discipline. Daily discipline protects you. Okay.
The
Weapons.
What, Prabhu? Weapons. Okay, good point. Weapons. Can you elaborate a little bit?
law enforcement. Yeah, I was just saying police. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'll take that. Okay. Anything else? Please
Fear,
think.
fear,
Huh?
Teacher.
our own fear, let us know that there might be a danger nearby so that we get alert.
So who's that? What did you say, Nandini Mataji?
Fear, our
Fear.
own fear can be a protector in a way so as
Oh,
to alert.
yes. Because of fear, we can sometimes realize that there is danger.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So fear, but is fear a protector? It can warn us of danger, but I'm just thinking of like things that actually protect us.
Okay.
So weapons, I agree, definitely. Family, can agree. Yeah. Anything else? There are 6 of them.
Money.
Money, very good. Money is actually one of the best protectors. If you have money, you can protect yourself. Yes, Dana. So this is mentioned in the Shastras as one of the big protectors. Anything else?
Followers.
Followers are our protectors.
Followers.
Followers? Okay.
Yeah.
Knowledge.
Yes. Who said knowledge?
Aishwarya.
Okay, Aishwarya Mataji. Yes, intelligence, knowledge is definitely one of the protectors according to Shastra, because your intelligence can actually protect you. If intelligence is not there, then protection becomes difficult. So, yes, the ones that I'm underlining are the ones that are there in the Shastras, but there are 6 of them. Any other?
Hare
Very
Krishna
simple.
Prabhu. Like home.
Hare Krishna. Somebody wants to. Nadia Kishore Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. Like home.
Home. Yeah, home. Okay, that's a good point. Shelter. It provides shelter and protection. Yes.
Yeah.
Power.
Strength, bro.
Sorry?
Strength.
I couldn't hear that.
I think
Sorry.
he's saying friends, Prabhu.
Strength.
Friend. Yes. Suhrit. Yes. That's definitely mentioned in the scriptures. So friend, intelligence, money. So instead of weapons, it's bala.
Strength.
Bala. And then there's one more.
Power.
A power. Okay. Not exactly, but yeah, power is bala, na? Power is bala.
Yeah. But power in the sense as in um a king, Like a position.
Yeah, like a position. Okay, position protects it. That need not be true. In fact, some high position can actually be very detrimental, because then a lot of people attacking you also. So, uh, yeah. Anyway, if there are no, yeah, Nupur, you want to say something?
Yes, Ramji. So Jagannath
Yeah.
Gopal Prabhu, he initially said law enforcers like police.
Uh-huh.
Siddhar Gopal Prabhu said hard work and good karma.
Okay. Thank you. Good karma.
And Nandini Mataji and Ritesh Prabhu, one of them said power.
Okay, so power is already covered. Okay, so I think all six are covered. Thank you all for your enthusiastic participation. So I'll move on and I'll show you the actual six that are in the scriptures. So these are the six things that are mentioned. So Bala, some of you got it, strength. Dhana, money. Suhrit, somebody mentioned, friend. Naipunya is actually intelligence. Punya also, like doing good things actually protects you. And the last one is dharma, which nobody got. So dharma actually protects you. What is that? Dharma rakshita rakshitaha. Like if you protect dharma, then dharma protects you, right? So these are the six things that protect us. Now, why am I talking this in relation to Kunti Maharani? Because it is said that the Pandavas had all six of them. If you think about it, the Pandavas followed dharmic principles. The Pandavas had extreme strengths. The Pandavas followed all Vedic injunctions. The Pandavas had Naipunya, highest intelligence. And the Pandavas had the best friend as Krishna. Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. You cannot get a better friend than Krishna. And the Pandavas had Dhana. They had all the money when they were young. But in spite of all of these things, they were still not protected. What happened in their lives? They went through the most turbulent times, the most complex situations, and most reversals. So, this aspect led Kunti Maharani to believe that this world is impossible. If the Pandavas had all six of them, and still they went through so many reversals and so many challenges and so many difficulties in their lives, then she came to the conclusion that this world is impossible. Okay, so how do we know this? How do we know that there is deep detachment cultivated in our heart? Because most of our prayers convey deep detachment from the material world. So now we're going to go through some of our prayers, and then I'm going to ask some questions. So please pay attention. And I'm going to put this image here for those of you who are seeing my screen. And at the end of this discussion on detachment, this particular image will make sense to you. This is basically a pipe which has water going from one end to the other. And then the pipe has some holes, okay, from where water is leaking. So now let's go through the prayers one by one. अत विश्वास विश्वात्मं विश्वमूर्ते स्वकेषु मे स्नेहपाशम इमं चिन्दी दृढं पाण्डुषु वृष्णिषु अत विश्वेश विश्वात्मन् विश्वमूर्ते स्वकेषु मे स्नेहपाशम इमं चिन्दी दृढं पाण्डुषु वृष्णिषु. So this verse is very interesting because I'm going to tell you why. So the Lord of the universe, so Vishvesha, sorry, I'm not used to this pen. Okay, let's see. Vishvesha, Vishwatmanam, Vishwamurte, all of these things are just glorifying the Lord of the universe, the soul of the universe, and personality of the form of the universe. Now, this line is very important. Sneha Pasham, which means a tie of affection. Sneha Pasham means tie of affection. Imam Chindi. Chindi means it's crushed or severed, So she's actually making this prayer that sever the tie of affection that I have. From whom? From the Pandavas and the Vrishnis. Now, Dridham is, she's saying that I'm very convinced about this. I want you to sever my affection towards my own sons and towards Vrishnis. So Vrishnis are basically the dynasty of Yadus, the residents of Dwarka, you can say. So now you might question, so Pandavas are basically Kunti's sons and they're amazing devotees. So why is that a bad thing, right? I mean, Kunti is praying that, Lord, please sever my attachment towards my own sons and towards devotees. I mean, who are also devotees. So why cut that knot? I want to hear some answers. Why is Kunti Maharani saying this? Doesn't she know that, attachment to devotees is very good, and especially if they're her sons? Yeah, anybody? The hint is in this image that I'll be talking about later. But yeah, if anybody wants to take a guess. Yes, you can just unmute and speak. I won't be able to see who's raising their hands. Yes, Manan Prabhu.
So, because it is coming in the way of our attachment to Krishna, there is some bodily aspects to that attachment, which is blocking her attachment to Krishna.
Yeah, very well said. So what Manan Prabhu is saying is, it is coming in her way to our attachment to Krishna. Okay. So what does she say immediately after this verse? So the next verse is, it will kind of give out the answer. This is a famous verse that even His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj puts at the beginning of Journey Home. O Lord of Madhu, as the Ganges forever flows to the sea without hindrance, let my attraction be constantly drawn unto you without being diverted to anyone else. So this kind of gives the answer, without being diverted to anyone else. So as Manan Prabhu mentioned, she wanted exclusive attention or attraction and love for Krishna and nothing else coming in the way, not even her own sons or even other devotees. Why? Because it is said that in our heart, if there is some part of our heart that is attached to something, then the whole heart cannot be given to Krishna. We'll discuss more about this, but let me move on. And then immediately after that, so that is one aspect, right? One aspect is she's saying, cut the knots of attachment. And the second aspect is she's saying, give me more calamities. This is the famous verse, Vipadas Shantu Tas Sashwat Tatra Tatra Jagat Guru. So, Bhavato Darshanam Yat Syat. So, what she's saying is, give me more and more difficulties, because in those difficulties, Bhavato, what comes out? Bhavato Darshanam Yat Syat. So, in those difficulties, I'm able to see you, my Lord, all the time. In those difficulties, I'm able to see you. So just give me more and more and more difficulties. I wish that all those calamities would happen again and again so that we could see you again and again. For seeing you means that we will no longer see repeated births and deaths. So now, again, I'm putting this picture here. Of a pipe and some water leaking. So she goes on to say another powerful verse, my Lord, your Lordship can easily be approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. She's saying, if you want to easily approach the Lord, you must be materially exhausted. One who is on the path of material progress, trying to improve himself with respectable parentage, great opulence, Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta, and Shri. Respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, and bodily beauty cannot approach you with sincere feelings. So now, can anybody tell me the significance of this particular example that I have here of pipe? What do these holes mean? And what does this water mean? And what do these 2 points, one is about severing the knot and one is about giving me more calamities, mean in this analogy of this pipe and water? Anybody? So what do these holes in the pipe mean? The holes in the pipe means that
Distractions.
there are distractions, there are other things that are coming in the way of the water flowing directly to Krishna. And the second thing, give me more calamities, is important because now with that, there is a huge push for more and more water to go in this direction. So if there are more calamities and there are more holes, then the flow towards Krishna will not be so powerful. If there are, do you all follow? So give me more calamities means, as she says here, bhavato darshanam yat syat. So the more calamities I get, the more I'm able to remember Krishna. But, and I also want you to cut the knots because then there won't be any holes in this pipe. All that water will directly go towards Krishna. So that is the first part I wanted to discuss today. So this path, this particular path, there are 7 paths, please remember. It's not that everybody can follow this path. This path is for those who have this deep realization that yes, spiritual life is difficult, but this material life is impossible. I don't know how many of us can actually say this, but this is for those kinds of people who really feel that material life is impossible. Okay. So now, when we think there are other options that will work, then giving our heart fully to Krishna is difficult, which is explained by Queen Kunti and also by this analogy that we just covered. And then just one last thing to summarize, one more prayer that she makes. Namo kinchana vittaya nivritta gunavrittaye atmaramaya shantaya kaivalya pataye namaha. Namo kinchana vittaya nivritta gunavrittaye atmaramaya shantaya kaivalya pataye namaha. So this is also a very powerful verse. Again, she is emphasizing the same point again. My obeisances are unto you, who are the property of the materially impoverished. So I've given you at least 5 prayers, 5 verses from the prayers of Queen Kunti, which all talk about this extreme mood of detachment. So she is known as the exemplar of detachment in the Bhagavatam. So this story, I think all of you have heard, and thanks to Nitya for finding these pictures on Gemini. So there is this particular monk, one monk who had only 2 kaupins, 2 pieces of cloth, and one he was wearing, and the other one he had kept for drying. And it so happened that while he was trying to meditate, a rat came and it was making kar 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 sound. So that was disturbing him. So he looked and he saw the rat, and then he thought, okay, let me find a solution for this. So what does he do? He gets a cat, and then he gets a cat, and the cat takes care of the rat, and the cloth is protected. So he starts feeling very happy. I've solved this problem. Now there is no more problems for me ever. I've solved all my problems, and I'm very happy. So when he's thinking like this, and he's meditating again, meow, 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 the cat starts making sounds. And then he realizes that I have to feed the cat now. So then he thinks about it, and the only thing that will feed the cat is milk. So he has to get a cow. So he gets a cow, and the cow will give milk to the cat. The cat will protect the cloth from the rat, and everything is solved. So now he finds that, okay, I've solved all problems. I can sit down and I can completely meditate. And then what happens while he's meditating? Moo, 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 moo. The cow is making noises, and then he realizes, oh, now I have to feed the cow. So how do I feed the cow? Which means I have to grow, like harvest. I have to have grass. So he starts growing grass and he becomes a zamindar actually. And now he becomes a zamindar, which produces grass, and then the grass is used to feed the cow, and the cow gives milk to the cat, and the cat takes care of the rats, and he's happy and he sits down to meditate. And then he realizes that now he needs someone to take care of everything, his farms, his the cow, everything, and then he gets married, you know. And then so this is how the story goes. And so what is the moral of the story? Anybody want to unmute and speak in our context?
Kill the rat.
Okay. Anything else? Yeah, kill the kill the attachment. Um, anything else?
Collateral damage.
Sorry?
Yeah, collateral damage.
Okay.
Yeah, kill the rat.
Okay. So the moral of the story is that this material world is a place where you think that if you get too much involved, then what happens is you will get implicated. So how should we interact? I mean, we cannot be completely detached also, right? We are all working, we are studying, we are married, we have family. So what should we do? So our acharyas explain that the interactions with this material world should be only for two things as devotees. What what are the two things? One is for maintenance and the other is for service. Anything else that you interact with this material world, you will get implications. You will be implicated. Okay. I mean, this is a pretty heavy statement because I'm dealing with this section of detachment. So some of the points that I'll be making will be heavy. So please understand that. And so there's one pastime of Srila Prabhupada in a zoo. So there was this one devotee who wanted to show off in front of Prabhupada. So he was playing with a baby lion, actually, a very small baby lion. And initially it was nice, and then suddenly the baby lion made a roar, So then Prabhupada looked at him and said, "This is exactly how it is in the material world. You might think that, oh, it's harmless, I can interact, I can play with it, I can go on, but immediately at some point, that same thing will roar back at you." The other example that Srila Prabhupada gave is that you're going on a ship, and then even if you go off 1 degree initially, and then you keep going off one degree like that, hours later, it'll be in a totally different direction than where you wanted to go. So similarly in Krishna consciousness also, we want to go towards Krishna, but then if you get indulged in material things or material activities or the material world, then it's like 1 degree away from Krishna, and then years later you realize that you're far away from Krishna. So there is one nice purport of Srila Prabhupada where he mentions that material extravagance is the beginning of all material problems. And the solution is like how we play kabaddi. I don't know how many of you have actually played kabaddi, but kabaddi is where you actually go inside the enemy's camp and then you actually just touch them and run back. So that's how we must interact with the material world. So now coming back to this topic of detachment, so we are going to really explore this. So detachment is not an anga of bhakti that has been established by our acharyas. Detachment is not the goal of bhakti. Now the question comes to all of you, just a yes or no question. Is detachment an important ingredient in our journey if we want to take this path? Is it an important ingredient? Anybody? It's just a yes or no. Like, do you feel that detachment is an important ingredient?
Probably the answer is in the same slide, no? The first point, it is not in the anga of bhakti. So detachment is not an anga of bhakti.
So you're saying that detachment is not an important ingredient, right, Prabhu? Krishna Prabhu, you want to say something?
I think detachment is the outcome of bhakti. Once you do bhakti, detachment will happen. You
So
don't
we
have
did
to
a poll,
aspire for. You don't
yeah.
have to aspire for detachment. Sorry.
Yeah, so we did a poll, Prabhuji. We did a poll at the beginning of this talk where we did is detachment necessary for bhakti? Is detachment a result of bhakti, or is detachment dangerous for bhakti? So I think most of the devotees picked detachment as a result of bhakti. So you're on that track. But I will just prove to you right now from Shastra that there are verses where it contradicts. Yeah, Nitya wants to say something.
I would say it is not the end all be all, but detachment must be followed by an attachment to something related to bhakti.
Detachment must be followed by attachment, after attachment.
Followed by, detachment from material should be followed by attachment to spiritual. It should
Detach.
not be like complete detachment.
Ah, beautiful. Okay. So that is a perfect segue to the next part. So there is some things that is very common in both the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. The thing that is common is in both cases, jnana or detachment comes after the essence of these scriptures. For example, in Bhagavad Gita, as we know, bhakti is in the middle 6 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita, is emphasized. The last 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita focuses on Jnana Yoga or the path of detachment, right? So if you think about it, why after the essence of Bhagavad Gita, why have 6 chapters, or why have the final wisdom be detachment? Why have the final wisdom be Jnana Yoga, right? Similarly, in Srimad Bhagavatam, if you think about it, the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam is the 10th canto. In fact, it is the middle of Srimad Bhagavatam. You might say if Bhagavatam is 12 cantos and 10th canto is Krishna pastimes, but actually Sukadeva Goswami, it is said that he started speaking the 10th canto exactly at 3.5 days at the midpoint, because the 10th canto has 90 chapters. It's a vast canto, right? So the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam is right in the middle. And the 11th and 12th canto is all about Jnana Yoga. In fact, the 11th canto has Uddhav Gita, and it was told to Uddhava as for renouncing the world, actually. It was encouraging Uddhava to renounce the world. And the 12th canto is about the annihilation of the world, just preparing Parikshit as he faces his final test. So if you think about it, both 11th and 12th canto both talk about the path of Jnana Yoga or detachment. So in both Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, after the essence is spoken, the final wisdom was about Jnana Yoga. So my question is, after speaking the essence, why is Jnana Marg emphasized? Why not just end with the essence, bhakti, and just end after the first 12 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, or after the first 10 cantos, after Krishna pastimes, just end? Why is this emphasis on detachment? Anybody? Are you following this train of thought?
I only know the textbookish
Yeah, go for it. Anything is
bit
okay.
is that anything that is um, valuable or special or precious must be sandwiched between something two that are not like the spotlight. So between the karma and jnana yoga,
Mm,
right? So the bhakti yoga is nicely embedded it's like a, Radheshyam Prabhu says it's like a jewelry box. So there's a
mm,
bottom part and there's a top part and inside is the jewelry. So I don't know.
mm.
I only know that part, but I have not.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else? Nandini and Ritesh.
Yeah. So I was thinking it's more of when detachment. So when bhakti is discussed, it is to kind of emphasize that detachment, like there shouldn't be any holes left at the end. Of course, you need to do bhakti, but then keep the holes covered. So just to emphasize that don't leave any attachment here so that you don't come back here. That is emphasized after bhakti.
Okay, very nice answer, Prabhu. Very, very nice answer. Yeah, anyone else? If there's anything on the chat, can somebody read?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Regarding just quick messages regarding previous question that if detachment is ingredient for bhakti, Jagannath Gopal Prabhu said no, Lekhaka said no, depends on what we are detached from. Jagannath Prabhu also added Tivrata, which is intense devotion, could sometimes be confused with detachment. Regarding this question, why is Gyan Marg emphasized? So Aishwarya Mataji said to deepen our faith in essence with knowledge, followed by a question mark. Jagannath Gopal Prabhu said, also Bhagavad Gita does end with the essence, 18.64 to 66. Manan Prabhu just asked a question. From the monk story, it seems even engagement for the sake of maintenance is implicated.
Okay. Okay. So very nice answers. Let's move on. So I'm going to give examples from scriptures, especially just the Bhagavatam, okay, where all three are mentioned that we discussed, whether it's a result of bhakti, supportive for of bhakti, or it is dangerous for bhakti. Okay, so this is a famous verse from the second chapter. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayat Ahaitukam. So here, if you read this, by rendering devotional service unto the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. This is what many of you picked as the top answer, and what is what Krishna Prabhu also said, that one who is practicing Krishna consciousness, automatically detachment from the world comes. So, according to this verse, detachment is a result of bhakti. Now let's go to the next verse. So this verse says, this is actually a verse talking about the supportive of bhakti, how detachment is supportive of bhakti. But that misconception of self-identity can be diminished gradually by the mercy of the personality of Godhead Vasudev through the process of devotional service to the Lord in the mood of detachment. So in the mode of detachment, in the mode of detachment. So in the mode of detachment actually emphasizes that detachment is supportive of bhakti. Okay, now let's take one more last verse, which emphasizes that detachment is dangerous, right? So detachment is dangerous to bhakti. So this verse says, if somehow or other, by good fortune, one develops faith in hearing and chanting my glories, such a person, being neither very disgusted with nor very attached to material life, should achieve perfection through the path of loving devotion to me. So being neither very disgusted with. So detachment is actually said to be dangerous to bhakti in this particular verse. So now that we have seen three different verses from different parts of the Bhagavatam, what we can say is too much detachment can make the heart hard. So the example of this is, sorry, this is from Gemini. So there is one guru, a sannyas guru, and then two people, both of them have lost their wives. One of them is going and telling the guru that I did not even cry when my wife died. I want to become a sannyasi. The guru tells him that you should go back and marry again because your heart should be soft. Your heart is hard. And the other person also has lost his wife and he's very sad and he has cried. And then he says, the guru says that, yes, you are eligible to become a sannyasi. So again, this story emphasizes that the heart should become soft. So detachment should not make the heart hard. So with that, I just want to play this one game and I want all of you to participate. If you're just listening, just focus on the screen now. So this, many of you may have seen this also. So what you have to focus on is, so there are three people wearing white shirts and three people wearing black dress. So the white people are going to be passing the ball from one to the other. You have to count the number of passes that are made only between between people wearing white dress. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, start.
This is a test of selective attention. Count how many times the players wearing white pass the basketball. How many passes did you count?
Okay. How many passes did you count?
11.
15.
Who said 15?
15.
Nadia Kishore Prabhu, 15 is correct. Someone else said 15.
I saw gorilla.
Yeah, me too.
How many of
And
you
then I
saw
got
gorilla?
distracted.
Okay. How many of you saw gorilla?
I saw
People who saw gorilla, this path is not.
after gorilla, I stopped counting.
Yes, Lekha Mataji. Lekha Mataji.
I think she
Oh,
raised
I just,
saying that she saw
yeah,
gorilla. Hmm.
yes, Prabhu. I do stop counting after seeing gorilla.
Okay, you also saw gorilla. Okay.
Yeah.
So the moral is, so how many of you got 15 without seeing the gorilla? Did anybody, how many of you did not see the gorilla, by the way? How many of you did not see the gorilla?
I didn't see.
Even I didn't
Okay.
see.
I also
Saraswati,
didn't see.
Even I
Saraswati did
didn't
not
see
see the
Prabhu.
gorilla. So, and Divya, okay, Diya Mataji also did not see the gorilla. Okay, so let me show you when the gorilla comes, okay, for those of you who have not seen.
The correct answer is 15 passes. But did you see the gorilla?
Gorilla not only comes, but gorilla dances also. Or maybe not dance, but yeah.
This video is from research by Daniel Simons and Christopher Chabris and is copyrighted.
Okay. So what
This is a test.
So what this particular game tells us is that if one is completely fixed on Krishna, then they will not get distracted by anything else, whether it's a gorilla or any material attachment or anything else like that, you know. So if you're completely fixed on Krishna and fixed on the goal and fixed on the path, then this particular path that we are discussing is the path for you. So this path is this path is only for those with deep realization that I don't want to be in this world anymore. I have lost all faith in the material world. I am so materially exhausted, not in a way that makes my heart hard, but in a way that makes me call out to Krishna with sincerity. So this is important. So it should not make my heart hard, but in a way that makes me call out to Krishna with sincerity. So yeah, so that is another aspect. And then finally, in the Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned Bhogaishvarya Prashaktanam Taya Partha Chetasam Vyavasayatmika Buddhir Samadau na Vidiyate. So in the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. So that is this path. So now we are going on to the next path that we want to discuss, and we have 30 minutes, so I'll finish it. I don't know why we are seeing so many ticks and people are, I think, able to write or something is going on. Okay. Anyway, so paths to Krishna by saintly association. Does anybody know what pastime is being shown here? Which is this pastime? So it's definitely Narad Muni. And who are these people listening to Narad Muni? Hint is, it is from the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so the story is that Narad Muni is preaching to the Hari Ashwas. So I will just briefly go over the story so that we are all on the same page. So a part of the 6th canto discusses Visarga or secondary creation. So it talks about the 10 prachetas who, after performing extreme austerity meditation, they get married, and their son is Prajapati Daksha. And then Prajapati Daksha initially also is not very happy with the way he's Prajapati, so he's supposed to populate the world. So then he marries Asikni, and then he has he also, even before that, he performs this Hamsa Guhya prayers, and then he has 10,000 sons known as the Haryashvas. So these 10,000 sons, just before they're getting married, they go to a holy pond called the Narayana Saras. So the Narayana Saras is the holy pond that they go in the mood of preparation for Grihastha Ashram. So in that period of time, they perform extreme austerities, meditation, and they're all very intellectual also at that time. So what happens is Narad Muni comes to that particular holy pond, and he doesn't instruct them. He just gives a very nice speech. It's an enigmatic speech that he gives without any instructions. And they become so attracted. They thought that this was their only path, that they have to populate the universe. But now he comes and tells that, no, there is another path. There is another path by which you can renounce the world, be completely detached. And you should consider that. And when Narad Muni speaks, because of his purity, they all become so convinced that they all become brahmacharis. And of course, Prajapati Daksha is livid. He becomes very upset, sad, angry. And then he produces 1,000 more sons called the Savalasvas. So the Savalasvas, again, the same thing happens. When they go again to the same place, just before their Grihastha Ashram, in the mood of preparation, Narad Muni comes there again, and he preaches to them also, and they also become brahmacharis. So at that time, Daksha becomes so angry that he curses Narad Muni that, I curse you that you never stay in one place and you keep traveling. And Narad Muni, of course, likes that curse and takes it as a blessing. So that's the whole story. So this is the benefit of saintly association. It is mentioned that these saintly people, they carry bhakti in their heart. And not only do they carry bhakti, like let's say there's a container that's filled with bhakti that they're carrying in their heart. That container overflows. That container is overflowing with bhakti. So anyone who goes close to them, they automatically get that bhava, or that glimpse of that bhakti. So that is the power of saintly association. Of course, in this particular example, Narad Muni speaks, but there are other examples that I'm going to share with you, two more examples, where they don't necessarily speak also. So, but before that, let's read this verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 26th chapter, 26th verse. An intelligent person should therefore reject all bad association and instead take up the association of saintly devotees whose words cut off the excessive attachment of one's mind. So now let's look at one question that I wanted to ask all of you. It is the power of persuasion. So if you want to persuade somebody, what qualities or abilities are needed in the speaker to persuade the hearer? Anybody? Any thoughts? What qualities do you think are needed in the speaker to persuade, to change the heart of the hearer? There are three essential qualities. What qualities or abilities are needed in the speaker to persuade the hearer?
Clarity.
So Manjari Gopi is saying clarity. Thank you. That means they must be
Lekha
very
is saying pleasing. Sorry, sorry.
pleasing.
Confidence.
Humility.
Purity of intent.
Purity.
Purity
Purity of intent.
of intent. Okay. Anyone? Somebody else says confidence, right? Okay.
Humility.
Humility. Yeah, very nice. Okay, who said that? If this.
Aishwarya.
Okay, Aishwarya Mataji, thank you. Yeah, humility. Anything else?
So to exemplify what we are speaking, basically.
Not to exemplify, Prabhu, not just to exemplify, to change the hearts of the hearers. There are three things that are necessary according to our acharyas.
Compassion.
Okay. None of you are hitting one
They
important.
should model that the behavior that they're trying to, or they should
Good.
they should
Achar. Yeah,
they should
thank
answer,
you.
yeah.
Achar. So behavior. Yeah, they should model exactly. They
I
should.
think this is what Nandikishore Prabhu was trying to say, Prabhuji.
What did Nandikishore Prabhu say?
Yes,
He was
Prabhu.
trying
Actually, I
to
was
say this.
trying to say, but the same. Like I didn't mention the word acharya, but to say what they
To
are
exemplify, yeah, he was saying to exemplify.
exemplify
To do what
what
they are
they are
saying.
saying.
Okay. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes. Achar.
Basic
Achar.
opposite of hypocrisy. Yeah.
Yes. So Achar and Prachar should go hand in hand. Otherwise, it will become the hearts will not get transformed. Okay. Anything else?
Truthfulness.
Truth. Very, very well said. Okay. So we'll come to this. So truth. Thank you. That is from Nitya. Anything else?
So
Intelligence.
Prabhu,
Yes,
speaking
Nandikishore.
as per time, place, and circumstance.
Speaking at the time, place, and circumstance. Okay.
Speaking as per time, place, and circumstance rather than general way.
Okay, time, place, circumstance. Desha Kala Patra. So according to Desha Kala Patra, you have to speak. But see, I'm just trying to make you all think of examples where in your own lives somebody spoke, somebody spent time with you, and your hearts actually changed, you know. So I want you to think of that, and then how they spoke or what they did, or what qualities they had that made your heart change. So those are the things I'm looking for. So definitely Achar is one of them.
Well,
Genuineness.
Genuine, yeah, genuineness, yeah, okay.
They were concerned about our
well-wishing.
well-wishers, well-wishers of well-being, our well-being.
Well-wishers, okay, thank you. Or compassion, somebody else said compassion, so that also goes here. Anything, I'll just take one more and then I'll discuss what I heard.
Guruji Lekha says they have characteristics that we are aspiring for.
The characteristics that you're aspiring for, okay,
I just
okay.
want to say, like, speaking with, I don't know what ability what that is, speaking with conviction, like they have faith and
Yeah,
intelligence with
somebody
what they're
said
speaking.
confidence. Somebody said confidence. Yeah, so the confidence, conviction, and then you'll be able to speak like that if you have clarity. So, and they should be pleasing. All these are correct answers. I'm not saying that they're wrong. Humility, but I'll tell you what Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj says in this particular context, which I write, and he actually gets the answer from Aristotle. Srila Prabhupada said that Aristotle is actually a pure devotee. So what Aristotle says is that for a preacher, they must have three qualities. Logos, they should be like logos, ethos, or pathos. Okay, so these are three people. So logos, focuses on speaking with a lot of, as somebody said, clarity, lot of logical ability, and whatever he spoke, that's why he's got this huge brain here, you see, a huge brain. So it's very rational, logical, watertight, and whatever he spoke, all arguments make perfect sense. Okay, so this is one aspect. This is one aspect of a speaker which can touch the heart, but it's not everything. Okay, so this actually you can say from our scriptures, this is like getting everything from Shastra. Okay, so that is logos. Now, what is ethos? Ethos means character. So this is prachar, or you can also say sadachar. So this is sadachar. So it's not just that you speak, but you must also live that. So living what they're saying. So the character actually empowers the speech more. If somebody is living what they're saying, then what they say carries more weight. And the last one, pathos, is ignite. The person should speak in such a way that it ignites others' emotions. The first one is rational, but now when this person is speaking, something churns in your heart and emotions come out. So that is pathos. So that is also very important. So that person must have a certain charisma. And when he speaks, he or she speaks, then it ignites the other person's emotions. So if this is Shastra, Logos is Shastra, ethos is Sadachar, then what is pathos according to our understanding? Another S, by the way. Any guesses? Nobody?
As seva, like selfless.
No, because now this is about speaking, na? It's very important that this actually is the most important. More than somebody being very well versed and achar and prachar, this part is very important.
He has a heart in his hand.
That is because he touches the heart. He ignites the emotions. He ignites the emotions. That's what it means. Ignites the emotions.
Selfless.
Yes, Sanskrit word this is.
Oh.
S-H.
Surit.
No, it's Shakti, Prabhu. Shakti.
Oh.
So what the Shakti means is that, so Shastra, Sadachar and Shakti. Shakti, so Sanatan Goswami tells to Haridas Thakur, Achara Prachara Namera Karahe Dui Karya. So Achar and Prachar. So Achar is the behavior, Prachar is the speaking on the power of the holy names. Somebody who does Dui Karya means somebody who does both of these things, Acharya and Prachar. So because you're doing both these things perfectly, Haridas Thakur, to me, Sarva Guru, you are not only the guru, but you are the guru, the friend, you are everything to everyone. To me, Jagatera Arya. So also it is said, Krishna Shakti Vina Nahe Tare Pravartan. So unless a devotee is specifically empowered by the Lord, he cannot transform hearts. This is the most important thing. You may be a wonderful logician, you may be following everything that you're saying, but unless you're empowered by the Lord, unless you are empowered by the Guru, you cannot actually transform hearts. So Srila Prabhupada transformed so many hearts because he was empowered by Guru and Krishna. So these are the three qualities that Aristotle mentions. So now, as far as Achar is concerned, all of you know this pastime also. This is with anybody quickly want to guess? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the midst of, and where was this pastime? All of you know this actually. Prakashananda Saraswati, this pastime happened in Varanasi. So here, even before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started speaking, what did he do? He went. So let me give you some background. So Prakashananda Saraswati, he was a very hardcore, very big Mayavadi sannyasi, right? And they would always taunt Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, make fun of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that you are just a sentimental person. You just keep chanting some mantras and you keep crying and dancing, but you must really get into the Vedanta. You must really study the Vedantic scriptures. You're just wasting your time. So there were two disciples of, or two Vaishnavas, uh, and their names were Chandrasekhar and Tapan Mishra. So they wanted to invite Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Varanasi. And then when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there, what did he do? He sat where they all wash their feet with humility. And when all the gurus, I mean, all these sannyasis saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, just him being in the midst of all of these saintly people, uh, they saw three things. They saw the beauty of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they saw the effulgence, and they saw the humility. These are three things that they saw. And immediately, Prakashananda Saraswati came down and he called him to sit in the midst of all of these people. And then he said, "We don't know what you're about to tell us, but we know that your words will not be false." So even before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started to speak, just his behavior transformed their hearts. So the association need not mean that they have to speak, just their behavior, their character, and just in their association, people can change. So Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu says that the receptacle of bhava exists in the dham and in a pure devotee. In both, they're overflowing. I mentioned this briefly. In both, they're overflowing. Anyone who comes near the dham or the devotee, they will automatically get it. And the third example, and we'll stop after this, is Uddhava himself. So Uddhava is called Bahushruta. Bahushruta means extremely intelligent. So he knew everything about the Vedas, and Krishna saw that Uddhava had these qualities. But there was something that Krishna felt that he should go from a committed to a confidential devotee. So he sent Uddhava to Vrindavan. And when Uddhava went to Vrindavan, just by seeing the gopis, and just by interacting with the gopis, it kindled his emotions. But even before going to Vrindavan, he knew everything about Vrindavan. Theoretically, he knew everything. But then when he went to Vrindavan, he saw the madness of the gopis in separation from Krishna, and that kindled his emotions. And after Uddhava returned, then Krishna was searching for Uddhava everywhere. Like, where is Uddhava? Where is Uddhava? I want to meet him. I want to hear what he felt, going to Vrindavan. Do you all know where he was found? Where was Uddhava found after he came back? Nade Kishore Prabhu.
So sorry, Prabhu, what is your question?
So the question is, so Uddhava goes to Vrindavan, he meets all the gopis. Actually, Krishna sent him, and then he really gets very emotional. He completely understands what it means to be a devotee, and then he comes back. Okay, and then Krishna is looking for Uddhava all over the palace, but Uddhava is found at only one place. What was he doing?
In his bedroom, crying.
No, that's a
So
good
he
guess.
wanted to get the
Grass.
dust of lotus
Yeah,
feet of
yeah,
Gopi.
yeah,
So the
yeah.
creeper, Uddhav couldn't. But you were asking about when he came back to Dwarka.
Yes, when he came back to Dwarka, this is in the Bhagavatam. When he
Not
came back to
about
Dwarka,
that point.
so Krishna was looking for Uddhava because he wanted to hear from him, like how are the gopis, how was your experience and all that. So he was looking for him. So where was he found? So it is said that he was actually found milking a cow. So because he was so much amazed by all that he saw, and then he really wanted to milk the cows and get into the mood of the gopis. He was so much in the mood of the gopis. And then Krishna started laughing when he saw Uddhava like that, because he always thought of him as a very intellectual, committed devotee, but he now became a confidential devotee. So the concluding statements I want to mention about both these things that we talked about. One was about detachment, and the second one was about association. So the goal of life, according to His Holiness Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, the goal of life is not to be free from attachment, but it is to be a slave of love. I'll leave it at that. But so he also mentions that if we hold on to attachments too tightly, then some space in our hearts will be reserved for those attachments, and we will not be able to fully offer our 100% of our heart to Krishna. That's why Kunti prays, sever that knot, even if it is my children. I don't want that family affection to come in my affection to you, Krishna. That is why she says, I want to sever the knot of my attachment even to the Pandavas and the Vrishnis. His Holiness Gaur Govind Swami also swears, very nice, I really like this very much. The world cannot continue spinning unless a pure devotee is present in it. This is a very powerful statement because what this statement is saying is the world cannot continue spinning. That means if the world stops having pure devotees in it, that means the world will stop existing. That is because the purpose of this world, it's a place of purification, is to take us back home, back to Godhead. And the only way we can go back home, back to Godhead is because of the association of pure devotees. So this is the second part. The first part, this is about detachment, and this whatever I'm going to speak now is about sadhu sangha. So sadhu sangha, as I mentioned at the beginning, many times we think that to perfectly associate with another senior Vaishnava or a pure devotee, a perfect. So we think that to associate with a perfect Vaishnava, a senior Vaishnava is sadhu sangha, but to perfectly associate with another Vaishnava is also sadhu sangha. So if you find a sincere devotee, so Nadia Kishore Prabhu is showing up right now on my screen. So Nadia Kishore Prabhu is a sincere devotee. So if I perfectly associate with Nadia Kishore Prabhu, then I get the same benefit of associating with a very pure devotee. So that is also sadhu sangha. And then Srila Prabhupada once in Portugal, somebody asked him in Portuguese if it is okay to be attached to Srila Prabhupada. And then Prabhupada said, yes, that is okay. And then he smiled. So Krishna se tomar, Krishna dite para, because Krishna is the property of his pure devotee. And if we take shelter of a pure devotee, then he can deliver Krishna very easily to us. So we have multiple, we can become directly attached to Krishna, or we can even become attached to Krishna's devotee, and then that will also take us to Krishna. So the three paths, this is a classic of Swayam Bhagavan Keshav Maharaj, where he talks about Karma Yoga is about enjoyment, Jnana Yoga is about detachment, and Bhakti Yoga is about appropriate engagement. And then he talks about theses, antitheses, and syntheses. So theses is like where you say, I really want to enjoy this world. Antithesis is like, I have nothing to do with this world. And synthesis is like, okay, I'm here. I'm not neither too attached nor too detached from it either. I will engage whatever I have to get to where I want to go. And another way of thinking about it is where you look at. So if you look at the world always, you're looking at the world directly, then that is Karma Yoga. If you look away from the world, then it is Jnana Yoga. And if you look beyond the world, then that is Bhakti Yoga. So finally, I just want to give one practical application. This is called the art of letting go. And we should sooner or later cultivate this art of letting go. So in Karma Yoga, it is said that you must, so living in this world is Karma Yoga, loving in this world is Bhakti Yoga, but letting go in this world is Jnana Yoga. So I asked that question about why this final wisdom is always about Jnana Yoga, right? Because it is very important that as we progress in this life, that we have to learn to let go. That is why even in the Varnashram, it is mentioned about Vanaprastha is all about letting go. And even Parikshit Maharaj, when he found out that he's about to leave the world, he let go actually. He let go of Jaya, Jaya is wife, Sutta is children, Agara is his palace. He let go of his all the animals and elephants and everything that he had. He let go of Dravina, his the treasury. He let go of his bandhus, his friends, and he of course let go of his undisputed kingdom actually. Why? Because of his wholehearted attraction for Lord Krishna. I'll stop here. Hare Krishna. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
I have a observation or more like a comment. So at the towards the end of the life or towards the final phase of the life, it is more of uh, detachment, where vanaprastha you mentioned. So is it also like starting of the life we do more of looking at the world, kind of figuring out, and then in the middle of the world we have family and we kind of love the world, and then towards the when we are done with it, with that love that we have cultivated, we kind of let go.
Yeah, but the art of letting go, we should start cultivating even now at whatever stage you are in. In fact, we are actually doing that. The four regulative principles are actually letting go only. So things that we should actually catch ourselves when we're getting too attached too tightly to certain things, which are not in line with Krishna consciousness, you can say. So you must learn to let go of those things, and then it becomes easier towards the end of your life.
Yeah,
Are my thoughts, but I don't know if that makes sense.
makes sense. Thank you.
Any other comments? Any other take homes? Was it confusing, difficult to understand? Vallabh Chaitanya Prabhu.
It reminds me of two examples, Prabhu, what you just said. First one is Srila Prabhupada when uh, I think it was just 2 months to the inauguration of Juhu temple.
Yeah.
And when he was asked, do you have any desire? And he said, Kuch ichha nahi hai. Without being attached that, oh, this was my key project and the most time consuming, energy consuming project. I just want to see it completed. And second one is Kadam Kanan Swami Maharaj. I have heard that he, even though he was suffering so much, still he was traveling a lot. But when it came down to like last few weeks, 3 weeks or so, he was in Vrindavan and he was totally by himself and just wanted to get absorbed. So
Yeah.
even these two examples, they were both engaged in devotional service also and fully engaged. But at the very end, they just gave up this world completely.
Yeah, not only that, I mean, they gave up all their devotional items also, Vallabh Chaitanya Prabhu, like the Shaligram Shila that Kadambakanana Maharaj was worshipping, he gave it to Vasudeva Prabhu, or was it the Govardhan Shila? I don't remember. But yeah, so like that, like everything they were letting go because they didn't want anything to come, between them and Krishna in one sense, like completely full attention, like how I said that, plugging all the holes. Yeah, thank you for that. Any other thoughts, reflections? If there are no more, we can end now. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, dear devotees, for attending. From next week, we'll continue with the regular Bhagavatam series. But after the next pastime, I'll come back to this and then we'll do two more like this. Hare Krishna.